All right, guys. So I'll tell you what I was talking about. I was talking about my shirts. I was doing a live video for my Instagram, but that did not work out. So I started talking in the video, and I looked at the time and realized that I'm missing out on you all, and I really want to say hey. So first off, I do want to apologize about yesterday as well. Okay, yesterday the kids had a teacher work day. I did know about it on Saturday, but I had kind of already knew it was going to be no way in the world I was going to be able to make it on here and do the things I need to do. I share with you all about my kids right now with school. It's been like a trying year. Let's turn this way a little bit. It's been a trying year this year with the kids. My daughter, she's in third grade, and my son, he's in seventh. And it's been like schoolwork has not been great. So now we're able to sit at the table and do a little bit of schoolwork and so forth. And it's just been rotating my times and so forth. So, but today I want to talk to you all about the new arrangement in the plant room. I don't know if you noticed it or not. Let's do a turnaround. Boom, 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 boom. All right, so we got that done out the way. We're good. All right, so I'm gonna put this right here because I really like the angle of that while I talk. All right, yeah. So I moved the plant room around. Now I didn't really. I think that light's a little bit better, right? Maybe. I didn't have to move all my plants around, but I did move this rack that was right here. It was lined in a little bit closer that way, and then I had another rack that's back here. Hey, what's going on, Miss Lady June? I was worried because I hopped on here a little bit late. I was like, oh, shucks. But what I'm about to do is we're going to flip this camera around. I'm going to show y'all the room a little bit. Let's see here. Okay, guys, so this is what I end up doing. I hope you all are having a wonderful day so far. This is what I did. I moved the room around. So now I can actually walk through here now to be able to get to the other side over here. And I'm just gonna give y'all the walkthrough, then we'll do some talking because y'all know how my brain is. All right, so then we moved all of our plants here, and I moved the Royal Queen that used to sit over here. This rack right here, guys, used to be aligned across here. And then I used to have my Royal Queen over there and a couple of other plants. But I moved over here because of light. These plants are getting bigger and they require a lot more light. And I feel like having this arrangement right here is going to allow all the plants to get the light that they need. So let's talk a little bit about what and why I went with what and all of that good stuff. So I actually changed my room around because it wasn't functional for me to be able to water the plants effectively. Originally, the goal was to be able to take pictures in the front part of my plants, right? That was the thing because every time I take pictures for Instagram, I'm always taking on the behind the plant. And sometimes I go through and turn it, and something wasn't dawned on me. It's like, Shawn, when you take pictures, people want to see the front of the plant, not just the back of the plant. Like, I see the back of the plant, and I'll take a picture, and that's what it is, but you do want to see the front part of the plant. Well, I can't be picking up a lot of these plants and moving them around because some of them are heavy, some of them are attached here. So originally, it was supposed to allow me enough gap to be able to take the pictures. Well, that didn't happen. And it also made it hard for me to be able to get in here and water my plants properly. And you all know how I feel about that, is if you can't go through and do your routine, or if it's hard for you to be able to do your routine, you're not going to be consistent at doing it. Nobody wants to do nothing every single day that they really just don't want to do it. They're definitely not going to do it at the best of their ability day in, day out. So I needed to put something in a way that was going to make it easy for me to be able to care for my plants. And this works out. And the reason why it works out, because it feels like, I'm going to show you, I've done it a couple of times, where I can just hide. Let's see here. Does this work? Well, I don't know if that worked or not. But yeah, I actually played a couple of games where I called the kid's name and they ran into the room to look and they didn't see me because I mean they think that it's somewhere else. They wouldn't think to look over there. So hey, had a little bit of fun there. But it allows me to really just take a look at the amount of plants that I have. Like I always know I have a lot of plants, yes, but I never realized how much plants I have until I came over. So this section right here, I don't. You know what? Let me turn the camera. Sorry guys, I didn't mean to hit you on that. No, that was loud. Sorry. Okay, so I always forget about my neons over here. The reason why I had them all the way over there against the wall, and this rack right here would block me from being able to get over there. So the only time I would go over here to see these guys is when I had to water them. Okay, look how beautiful they are. Like to be able to see them every day, they get this lighting now that's even better. The color of them, they are really just growing. And I can't wait for all of these little gaps to be filled in and just let it just drench on down. Now, down here at the bottom, I understand that's going to be an issue because it's not going to, I'm not going to want those to grow down. But I'm thinking all I have to do is just, when they get a little bit longer, is just vine those to come up and just have a whole rack of that. I think that's going to be beautiful. And I think that by me having this grow light right here, that's going to allow these plants to be able to grow this direction too. So who knows? We might just have a full whatever it is going on. So that'll be beautiful. And I also now am talking that to you all that I could take this pot right here if I did a repot and put it up there at the top and have it face that way so that it actually can drop down and I don't even have to worry about building this one up. It'd be a little bit easier. So don't ask me why I bought this over a year ago, but I still haven't pulled the tag off. Just hadn't got to it. The philodendron moonlight is loving it over here. I've had one, two, and three, or is it right there? Three maybe. Leaves to unfurl over the wintertime, and it's growing. Now it used to be over there where that gardenia is at, and the grow light used to be able to shine on it, but I believe the distance from it was just so low to the floor that it made it hard for it to be able to grow as much because it just needed more light. And I thought it was growing, but the leaves used to be all the way down. Like you can see these leaves right here. That's the way the whole plant used to be. Now that it's by this window, I'm starting to see the leaves actually perk up. And I remember when I bought this plant that the leaves did used to be up. And I guess over a period of time, they started going dwindling down, but I never really paid that much attention to it or noticed it enough, just thinking that it was normal because the plant was still growing. So it wasn't getting enough light, but it was growing just very slowly and very oddly. But anyway, that's it. Loves it here. Now this is the one we did the repot on the other day. Take a look, guys. Look at that. Means I did the repot, right? So this is the philodendron salum that my mom is getting that she doesn't know yet. I figured out, sorry, I don't mean to say so many times. I figured out that I'm not going to rotate this plant, even though it would look really good with it being completely full. It's because I don't believe my mother's going to rotate it at the window. And you got to keep in mind, she doesn't even know that she's getting this plant. So I don't want to give her something that's going to be taxing on her. We know that these plants get huge. And the last thing I need my mom doing is bending over trying to rotate. So I'm perfectly fine with getting all these leaves to kind of push out and grow one direction. Because when I set it at her house, it's just going to face towards a big window. So that's what we're going to do with that. It's growing pretty good, though, guys. It really is. Over here, we have our, I guess, rehab cabinet, we can call it. We still have some mealy bugs going on. I did spray some alcohol on some of these plants. Mainly this neon and the Addisoni. These two right here are the ones that seem to be keeping the mealy bugs on the longest. I thought the Addisoni was almost completely done, and then I saw some more. I didn't see any new ones since I've just sprayed it, so we should be all right. But that neon right there really just keeps on giving me mealy bugs. I have cut it all the way down. And I think I'm going to try the rubbing alcohol. I'm going to dump it in water and do rubbing alcohol on it one more time. And if the plant gets mealy bugs again, I believe we're just going to go ahead and chunk it and keep it moving, because this is going to be the plant that's going to keep on contaminating the rest. And honestly, I don't think I'm ever going to trust this plant now, because it's just every single thing that I have done for it, it found a way to get mealy bugs. It might have left and another plant gave to it, but it's just no way for me to really confirm that. So most likely we are going to be getting rid of that plant, and I'll be okay with it. I do not have another neon pothos that's big right now, but I do have one that's in my living room. It's just a little one and it's hooked on to another plant. If you all want to see it, just type it in a comment, let me know, and we could walk to the living room and I'll let you take a look at it. But this plant overall, it's a really good hardy plant, but it catches mealy bugs really quick. So yeah, so we'll be tossing that one out if it if it brings mealy bugs back after I spray with rubbing alcohol. So over here, we're just going to talk about this section over here, and we can get to the other section, all of that over there. We'll get to that like tomorrow as the days go, because it's a lot to cover. Over here, we have our Rio philodendron, heartleaf, all you call it. Then we have our Brazil over here, and the Scindapsus exotica is all the way there. A little bit about these plants is that you don't have to have a grow light on top of these plants. As long as you have them by some type of light, which mine are by the windows, they would do perfectly fine. And this is even in the wintertime. But I do have an additional grow light that's growing on them. And the reason why is because when I moved them, they wasn't this, you see it's a wall right here. So they're not going to get as much light as they used to get. That's number one. And number two is with the short daylight time outside, with it being the season time, I like to make sure nothing really skips a beat with my plants. Now, of course, when spring and summer come, it's going to be more brighter natural light a lot longer. So that's going to aid in my plants growing good, but they are conditioned to be able to grow pretty well off the grow light and nothing has changed. And that's why if you have a plant room or a space like a plant corner, you don't really move your plants around or anything like that based on the weather, then it's okay for you to be able to repot your plants and do what you need to do because their environment pretty much stays the same. Even with the temperature in the house, I keep the temperature between 68 and 71 in the house all year round. So I will say the dry heat, the air is a little bit drier because of the heat. However, I still haven't ran no humidifier in here at all. And I have a calathea and a stromanthi back here growing, and they are doing pretty good. Now, am I saying don't use your humidifier? Absolutely not. But I did have a problem where I used my humidifier about, it was about 2 years ago. And when the springtime came and I stopped using it, my plants turned yellow. Not all of them, but let's just say about 30% of them. And I believe it was because they was adjusting to the humidity. That was the only thing that could have changed. I gave all the plants the same water and food out the same container. Nothing changed. I didn't move them around or anything. The only thing was the humidity. I turned the humidifier off. And it was just the more plants that just became like the big leaf philodendron plants, had another one. What's another one? I did have the stromanthi at the time, and it was another plant. I can't remember. I think it was the monsteras. They really liked that humidity, and once I switched up that whole environment, they really acted out. So I told myself if I can go another season without using a humidifier, I'm not going to use one again. And I did it last year, came out fine, and of course this year I'm coming out fine. Now I have lost a couple of plants to some yellowing, and I did with the philodendrons deal with a lot of leaf stuck, a lot. So one way for me to be able to combat that though is when I start seeing the leaves like this, I go ahead and spray water mist on there at least once every 2 or 3 days, just to make sure it's it has what it needs to unfurl. And I also check the water level on them to make sure that they're not drying out 100%. Because if a plant dries out 100% while it's pushing out a leaf, that leaf will never come out, okay? Just telling you that. I had learned the hard way and finally figured it out. So I do my very best when I see something like this happen, just to make sure that the plant has water in it. And you would think with a self-watering container, I'd be ahead of it, but this guy lets the self-watering container also dry out sometimes. So yeah, it's me, it's who I am. So guys, I love this mican. I don't know if anybody has one, but you would know that they have a soft little velvety feel on top of them. I've never heard anybody complain and say that micans are finicky or anything like that, but I will say it's not, for me, it's not the easiest plant that I've ever grown, okay? If there is a plant all over here that's likely to throw some fits, it would definitely be this mican. This pearl, I think this is pearl and joy maybe, or no, this is the enjoy. Now this right here is a difficult plant too. Now it has an attitude like no other. It prefers everything to be perfect, and if you move it, touch it, bump it, stare at it too long, you're gonna have some problems. Okay, that is very difficult one to grow. And even that global green, which I don't even have one, which I want so bad, I keep on killing it. I don't know how, I don't know what I'm doing, but it just doesn't like what I do. Now, I'm thinking that if I get another one, I'll put it in a self-watering container, because I will say a lot of these plants, they do not like to dry out 100%. I was a big fan of allowing every plant to dry out completely, bone dry, to the point that when the leaves start looking weird, that's when I water it. And that is not what you want things to do. Some plants, they do prefer the soil to dry out almost completely. And sometimes completely really is beneficial for the plant. But some of them you don't. Like this Florida green over there, it loves to be bone dry before I water it. If I let it bone dry extra 1 or 2 days, I get some type of attitude. That attitude under there is that yellow leaf, because I let it dry out for like 2 or 3 days, and it's mad at me. I watered it about 3 days ago. I think we talked about it on Thursday or Friday. And yeah, that's how it acts out. Now, the next one I need to water over here is my dragon tail. I'm not even going to tear that name up, but it's like a Rhaphidophia delicious something. Anyway, dragon tail, all right? These are the slowest growing plants in America. They, I don't know. I don't know what to say. But they are absolutely beautiful. I mean, look at the leaf. I mean, it's no denying like just how, and it's like a real thick feeling to it. And it really is a freaking beauty. I mean, especially if you let it trail or wrap around something. I mean, look here. Gosh, that's beautiful. And that's one of our most recent leaf set on furrow. Of course, it's going to get to be a little darker green like this back there. But that right here, guys, this is our Brazil that we did that repot on. So we're waiting to see what's going to happen. So far, the Rios and the Cream Splash that was over here, they are responding and seem to be doing fine. But it's this one right here that has the attitude. And we're making it work. I don't know if I shared with you all. I remember we was on live and I was trying to look for these and I couldn't find them. But these are pins. So you can buy these. They're called plant pins. If you message me or want to know, I can give you the exact name. I can't think off the top of my head. But these work really good because they allow you to be able to capture that node, if you have a node down here at the bottom, and to be able to get that into that soil and let it stay there without it popping off. Now, when my Oma taught me how to do our very first plant that we actually saved together, we put rocks on top of the stem just to be able to hold the plant down. I didn't know why, but it was to force those to be able to root down there at the bottom. So that way the head of the plant can fill in a little bit better. The more of these nodes that you have in that plant, you can sometimes take them and just wrap it around, put some more soil on there, guys, and it will start filling in pretty fast. That's the secret there. Another trick is cut your plant, and when you cut it, make sure you cut them all the way up. I would say about 3 or 4 stems. So if you get a plant like this, let me pull it all the way out. Oh, come on. Don't give me a hard time. Okay. Sorry, guys. So if say right here, what I would do is I can cut this plant off right here, and I would make sure this node right here is available, and I would make sure that this node right here is available, and I will put that right here at the top. Put that down just like that, and then shoot, probably in about, I would say 2 months, I'll feel comfortable. Maybe two, maybe 3 months, depending. You'll have some roots and stuff already grown from that plant that's grown down, and now you have a whole nother vine for that plant to be able to stem in. And you just keep going around and cutting until the plant fills in. Now, what I'm gonna do is see what this plant's gonna do. If it livens up some and I see it start, let's just say that these turn a lot yellow right here, but I start to see brand new blooms on, well, not blooms, but brand new growth, then what I'll do is I'll just take my hand and peel all the leaves off, and then I'll just wrap that part and put it into the soil, put some more soil on top of it, and have the ends be like the top of the plant. And then that plant's gonna take off. So I just wanna make sure the plant actually grows though and push out some new growth. And that's how we're gonna make that plant look huge in no time. And guys, that's all we're gonna talk about as far as over here in the corner, because my arm is tired holding this iPad. That is one thing that I definitely want to invest in this year is getting me a new camera. If somebody knows, oops, we good? We good? Right? If somebody knows somebody, that camera feels like it's really zoomed in on me. Good gracious, can it zoom? There we go. Ooh, I felt like I was like inside of me. Good gracious. All right, so if anybody know any good cameras to be able to, I'm gonna sit down if y'all don't mind. I want to show off, hit my flex in my new room. But if anybody know any good cameras, I'm not looking to go full expensive, guys. I'm talking about something that I can just really just record with. I don't know if I can attach it to the iPad. If so, that'd be even better. If somebody knows something about that. So that way I can actually get around in the room a little bit more because the iPad is really big and bulky and I can't turn it and angle it the way that I want to. And I have that flat protector in the back that covers the screen. And this year, guys, I really want to get into this room and really just share, the things that are going on so that way I can catch it. Me being in this room, guys, I'm not playing with you. I'm hopping on here live talking to you all. I've been able to, well, there haven't been too many people talking today, unless I missed it. Let me check my chat. I might have missed something. Hey, hi. Ooh, well, I mean, yeah, you can't put those words and all that on a comment because if you do that, then it can mess something up. I mean, I don't think nobody said anything to offend you, and you haven't offended me or nothing. But you know how this stuff works. If it's cuss words or things that pop up like that, they could potentially flag it. And I'm just we're not here for that. But hopefully you're doing good and you're having a great day. I hope you are. I know I am. Actually, just sitting here talking and showing off my room a little bit. But yeah, guys, we doing hopping on this live and walking around here and doing our plant projects and our tours and recognize what's going on. My plants have been doing really good. So you all have been helping me be accountable for doing what I said that I do. So I love this, and it allows me to feel comfortable with just live talking. I can sit down and it takes me a whole. That's why I haven't done a lot of long form videos because I am a nitpicker. I will sit there, so I will film my video and I will nickel and pick it all the way down to the point that I don't even share it. I'm just like, it's not even a video anymore. It's like a segment. So it's a little 2-second drill. So being on here, being live is, oh well, if I say what I really mean, I can't go back. And that's just what it is. I do want to share with you these Condapsus. I took a look at them over here this morning. And you remember when I was telling you all about the humidity bins, where you buy the bin, and if you don't have a clear lid, that you can put film, well, what's it called? It's not running wrap, round wrap, whatever, it's clear wrap. You can put this over top of here, and it keeps it in. I don't know if you can see with the lighting, probably not, but there is a little bit of moisture that I saw on top of here, which let me know that the humidity is staying in there pretty good. Now, is it in there as good as it should be if it had a lid? No, but we're just doing substitution. And for right now, this Condapsus work, and they are still green, as you can tell. And we did this about 2 weeks ago. So safe to say, as long as I don't do anything funky, like change the whole lighting, and knock them over or something like that, it's safe to say that these are probably going to do pretty well. And we're going to have a whole lot of plants. So we're going to figure something out. I know this year I'm going to learn how to ship plants, right? I'm hoping that with our business, remember, Grown on Tuesday, check us out. I'm hoping that maybe I can get to a point where I can add in, like sending in a free cutting of a plant or something like that. I don't know. All I know is that you got to have agricultural license and all that in order to do that. And my funds are a little funny right now, so I can't afford to do that. All I can afford to do is what my vision is right now, and that is to be able to actually deliver on some style. Guys, when I go out to the store now and I wear this, people actually stare. Like they still haven't built up the courage to actually ask, hey, where'd you get it from? And that's okay. The fact that I got your attention while either you scanning me out to get ready to leave the store, or you walking by, or whatever it is. And sometimes, guys, I'm not gonna lie, when I'm at certain places, just see if it gets my attention. I'll be in the plant section, just you know, just to see. Now sometimes it captures people. Sometimes people don't care about it. Hey, it is what it is. But that's me having fun. Hey guys, I do want to show you this elbow. I need to give it some water because I'm the first one talking about how if you don't give it water, look at that. Now I sound like the guy who I used to watch him a lot on TikTok. You know, that's a whole nother story. Everything had changed over there, I guess. But he eats food and he'll be like, oh, will you look at that? Will you look at that? And you know, he'll get ready to eat it and he'll explain what it tastes like, all of that. You know, I like stuff like that. So that's how I feel right here with this leaf right here. It's about to unfurl. Will you look at that? Let me bring the light in. Well, it's not about to unfurl, it's just growing, but um, I don't know, guys. I think I messed it up more trying to do it that way. But anyway, I'm hoping that since this was a leaf right here, maybe we get us a half moon. Maybe it's too early. Maybe I'm expecting too much. I don't know. But I also, this node right here that had grew down, I went ahead and put it back into the soil. Now, I don't believe I can never take it out, and I hope and I think that it grows into the soil and it helps with a root system come from there. I hope so. We're going to see. But this is absolutely beautiful. And it was a gift. Now, I was a little bit scared because I'm like, oh my gosh, what am I going to do? But I think I'm doing all right with it. So I used to be so worried, guys. I used to tear some plants up, man. Y'all don't understand. I be thinking I'm doing the best, and come to find out, I done messed up. I'm bringing you all this escaleto because we talked about this one last week too. Right here. And this was the new leaf that had recently pushed out. And we also, it's a little bent up here at the top because I got over here and I saw that the leaf was actually stuck. So I sprayed some water on it, got the Q-tip. Actually, I don't even think I had to get the Q-tip on this because it was just a little tip that had just bent in there. So I think I was able to get my finger or something. Either way, I just popped it out. So it's doing pretty good. The soil, take a look at it. Soil is a little dry, and with this new leaf unfurling right here, I don't want it to stop. And you can see the roots right here to the side. I wish I would have got a little bit more soil on the outside of it, but as you can tell, the way that the roots is growing out, when I repotted the plant, I repotted it halfway. Let's turn it here. Oh, see if that helps. So when I repotted the plant, I always repot halfway to allow, you know, the roots to be able to grow. And as you can see here, the roots just popped out the side here. So I'm guessing that I did get it knocked around some, not as much as I wanted to, but we have our root system growing and they look and seem to be doing pretty good, I guess. And you can already see we're gonna have some roots that's gonna try to pop out the side here. So only thing that I'm gonna do is it's not time for this plant to be repotted. So if anything, I still have a little bit of room up here at the top. That kind of was intentional, kind of not. You know, when you put your soil and you do your repot, you want to make sure that you pat it down a little bit. So, because when you water it, it drops down, and you just want to make sure that it doesn't, you know, it doesn't cover something all the way. I would have loved to be able to cover this part in the soil. That would have helped out with the plant as well. So when I get ready to adjust this plant, which is probably going to be the way this plant growing, I mean, you already see the roots coming out. So probably in like 2 months, something like that, we'll get in here, just adjust it up, put some more soil down there at the bottom. Now, I'm not going to do a chunky down there at the bottom. If you could see, it's a whole lot of perlite in there. The only thing I'm going to do is just take some of the tropical mix out the bag and put it in there. And then I'm just going to mix it with my hand in there because it's chunky enough with that. And yeah, we're going to see what happens. And then we're going to get this part right here. Hopefully we can get some more of this buried up here at the top. And maybe I can adjust this pole to come up just a little bit. Or I may switch it. It's not like the plant is attached to it or anything. And we'll see what's best for it. Now, I used to use those real thin little sticks that the plant could attach to and grow up on, but I didn't water them or anything, but it just was to give them support. I may put that on there, but I keep saying one day that I'm gonna actually water my moss poles. And with this plant right here, I would love to be able to have this right here actually attached to it and have these actually grow. Can you imagine the size and how fast it's gonna freaking grow if it actually feels that support? I mean, this leaf just unfurled not even long ago, and I had another one pushing out. We're going to have another one probably pushing out in about 2 months. Maybe a month I'll start seeing it, but to really just notice it and to be able to show you all a noticeable difference. This is where I cut this plant at when it wasn't doing too good, right there. You can see. And once I cut it, then this part right here started to grow. It was just a little bump. And Eventually shot up a whole nother stem, and most likely I'll be attaching. I'll have to move this right here and attach this stem because this is usually where the shoot of the plant is going to continue to grow and build there. I'm probably not going to get nothing else from out of here. The only way I would get something to pop up around here is if I cut this plant off. And if I cut it, it's still going to grow another shoot here. I'll never get anything here or here unless I cut this plant. If I cut this plant, then I can cut this plant down right here and another stem will start from there and I can get a whole nother plant going. Now, if you take a look at here, I don't have enough. Let me see here, or is that where it comes from? I actually do. If I want to propagate this plant right here, this stem right here, I actually already have this. This is a, let's see if we can turn it. You can see it right here, coming from up here. So this top leaf right here has this going on. So I could put this in sphagnum moss and this plant will start taking off, start growing something else. And then I'll be left with this plant here. So if we are to look right here, all I have to do is once this plant actually gets attached, attach this one, just leave it as a one shoot like this, and let this plant continue to grow up. And then I just remove these two right here. And the plant grows. It's funny how the plant just continue. You can do stuff like that, and it encourages the plant to grow bigger and faster. You know, I'm getting to a point now where my plants are getting to be a little bit big. It's like you think about and you dream about your plants becoming big and becoming huge, right? But you're never quite prepared for them when they start growing. I mean, I have a plant right here with this leaf right here, and this is not even a big leaf compared to my one out there in the living room. If you all want to see that one, you're gonna have to ask me though, because I'm not gonna walk out there for nothing. But yeah, guys, escalados are very, very easy to care for as well. All right, let's see here. I'm gonna put that like there. All right. So anyway, guys, I need to get back to doing a couple of errands. I was supposed to be making a couple of shirts, but it just didn't work out, I guess, the way it was supposed to. So that's where we're at with that. I appreciate you all being here. You all take care, and I will see you next time.